Baby, I'm a gangster too. Baby, I'm a gangster too.
Hi, babies, and welcome back to Kisses and Chaos. This is your host, Lucy, and we got a solo episode today. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in so long. You have no idea what's going on in my life, and let me just tell you, it's been an emotional roller coaster. But I'm going to get into that a bit later because today we are talking about not feeling behind in love, okay? Thank God that Taylor Swift has just gotten engaged at the ripe age of 36. And I just think that, obviously, if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, I don't understand how, but she is just somebody who has longed for love constantly, like literally in her song White Horse, like someday I'm actually going to find somebody that treats me right someday. And even like she went through an 8-year relationship with Joe Alwyn, and that didn't work out. And that was 8 years of her 20s, and she was just alone, and then she found Travis. And I just think that it's really cool to see somebody who's so successful and who's not by society's timeline of like getting married and having babies and stuff. Like she's 36 and she just got engaged, and me being 28, sometimes I can really compare myself and really like wonder why I haven't met my person yet. It's really challenging, and it can feel extremely lonely. You can see other people getting married and you start to spiral. You're like, why is this fucking bitch getting married and I'm not? Like, when am I going to find my person? And it gets really exhausting, You see somebody's engagement post and then all of a sudden you are crying with some Hot Cheetos and some Ben and Jerry's in your room. Girl, I have done it because it's just like, what the fuck? Hello? Like, where are they? Like, hurry up. I'm seeing these people all have babies and shit. I'm just like, okay, I'm 28 and I am not in a relationship at all. So it's really annoying. But hey, Taylor Swift, that's going to make us feel a lot better today. So buckle up, baby. Because today we're talking timelines, broken promises, and Taylor Swift's engagement. And why starting over doesn't mean that you're behind. So let's get personal. I don't know if I've talked about it on the pod, but I've been engaged twice. One time that was like more real than the other time. Another time, my ex literally just proposed to me while we were rolling, and we were like 18. So that one wasn't as big as the other one. The other one, we were like looking at venues and families were involved. But I was 21. And yeah, crazy to think about. And with no contact, which I know you guys literally have no idea what's going on. Let me give you a little backstory here. Me and her were talking again. Me and Mrs. Wright. We're still like friends. We still talk and and maybe one day something will come out of that. But it's just I had unfinished business with no contact. I think I just didn't really take a ton of time to heal. And also no contact is extremely persistent, extremely. So yeah, I just got entangled with that situation again. And it's done again. I'm not ready to dive in fully because, guys, with her and maybe Mrs. Wright, there's just been so much shit, and like you guys don't even know the half of it. And I'm just not there yet to talk about it. I'm still like emotionally processing all this emotional whiplash that I've gone through and have put myself through because we're bad bitches and we take accountability. But yeah, with no contact, this last time she really promised me the whole 9 yards, babies. And as you guys know, I have never really saw myself having children. And tell her, she just brings out a lot of my femininity that I've never really had. I think also like I don't know if it's just because I'm just more dominant in general, but she just brings out this side of me. So she promised me that she was going to move here. It was going to be like a whole thing. And, obviously that's not happened. And it's literally like the LOML song from Taylor Swift, where it's like, you should talk to me under the table, talking rings and talking cradles. That is like my repeat song right now because it is so sad and it's so hard to like let go of everything. And I'm going to do another episode on how to get over heartbreak fast and like kind of dive into everything in that episode. But just like right now, Mama just can't talk about it. Mama's feeling a lot of things. But I think when I saw Taylor Swift's engagement, I was just like, oh my God, like, she's 36. I am fine. Like, I'm 28. I've been in love multiple times. Everything's gonna be fine. And that's why I was like, I need to make an episode. But, no context, she made it seem like it was gonna be forever. And here I am again at 28, starting over. Even with maybe Mrs. Wright, I was really so obsessed with her, and I was so excited about her, and I think like the timing of it was just wrong, and I was just like still not over everything with No Contact, and it was just too fast. Like, it was really fast. And at least like I was honest throughout the whole way, and like maybe Mrs. Wright knows everything. Doesn't make it any easier, but at least that's that. But 28, single, starting over again. And it feels pretty debilitating sometimes, because it's not just the heartbreak. It's like mourning this whole future that's never happened. Literally, Taylor Swift song. A nursery you imagined, the holidays you planned. I built my entire future around her paper-thin words. And a psych fact, this is actually called ambiguous loss. It's the grief of losing somebody that you never fully had. You're grieving the promises, the future, the plans that you guys made. And it's just as real as grieving a person. And when you're going through heartbreak, you're kind of going through both of it. You're going through grief of losing them, and you're going through grief of like all that fantasies and plans that you guys had. And sometimes it does feel almost embarrassing to not already have a partner and be, older. Like, all my siblings are married, and I'm just here like the black sheep chilling, because like I've had 2 engagements. Like, I have moved in and done the things, and I've talked about marriage with multiple girls, and to be here and be so single, it's crazy. But here's the truth about all of that. Just because I have 2 ex engagements and some messy exes and situations does not mean I'm behind. They just make me more qualified to spot the real thing. And take that with a grain of salt, because I am so bad at not seeing red flags. I need to take my own advice. But I think, every single time you go through a heartbreak, it's kind of showing you what you don't want and who you don't want in a person, and how to spot that next time. And hopefully I don't get fucking digmatized again. Strap on for the people that don't know. Okay, so obviously we're going to talk about Taylor Swift's engagement, because the way that the world views and watches her love life is kind of a mirror to how we see ours. For over a decade, they dragged Taylor Swift through the mud, calling her boy crazy, saying that she was a serial dater. Basically, she was the face of slut shaming. And all she was doing was just dating in her 20s, multiple people, which so many people do. And the reason why I think I'm so shaken up by this engagement is because I feel like if you're a Taylor fan, you see yourself in her. I think that's like one of the most beautiful parts about being in her fandom. Like, she's just so relatable. And throughout my career and my journey, I've had a lot of people be like, call me a serial dater, or say like, I can't keep them, just like dumb shit. Like, even like one of my exes said to me, it's really telling that all your exes have found their person after you. It's literally like what Taylor Swift said. I always feel like I'm the girl before you find the one, because that's how I have always felt. And it has happened to me twice where they have married them. But back to Taylor, they called her boy crazy. They literally called her every name under the fucking sun. But now that she's engaged, she's redeemed herself. Like, the ring fixed her narrative. Also, I think I've said that she was 36 a couple times. She's 35. Sorry about that, Swifties. But here's the thing. If Taylor Swift can go through 15 years of public breakups and still find love and be engaged at 35, why the fuck am I crying at 28 thinking my love story is over? She was still dating Joe Alwyn at 28. Reputation, I think, just begun. Why am I crying like I'm so behind? And the truth is, she was never failing when those relationships didn't last. She was writing albums that healed us and selling out stadiums. She was living. The engagement didn't validate her. It just added to her already iconic story in life. And that's exactly what it's going to do with you. It's just going to be like another add-on. It doesn't mean that you're worthy of anything, but you already are worthy. You're beautiful no matter what age. Even if you're older than 35, if you're in your 40s or 50s, like, you can't let the fact that you don't have a partner in life stop you from living. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship that you're ever going to have is with yourself. But back to Taylor Swift, it really shows you how much society is so obsessed with marriage and love. They think that marriage is the finish line. We act like the ring is the biggest prize you can get. But the prize is the life that you're building every single day for yourself. The engagement and the marriage, baby, that's just an accessory to your life. You're the fucking main character. All right, we're gonna pull out some psych facts because, baby, if you're spiraling, and you're not going to believe me? Believe science. There's this thing called the social clock theory. Basically, it's society's way of telling us the right age to do things. Graduate by 22. Married by 28. Babies by 30. Sounds terrifying. I'm 30 in like a year and a half. Oh my God. I'm still a baby myself. But research shows that those societal clocks are literally made up. Like in the US, people think if you're getting married past your 30s, that's weird and you're like an old bride or something. But in Italy, baby, Italia, people don't even consider getting married until their late 30s and so on. Let's live by Italy's clock, okay? Being behind is a scam that society has sold us. Love isn't a race. It's a remix. And some of us drop the banger later in the set. Think of yourself like a little DJ like me. And oh my God, Instagram is the fucking worst. And TikTok for social comparison. Psychologists have found that when we compare ourselves to people that seem ahead, we develop more anxiety and depression. Because girl, oh my God, how true that is insane. So when you see engagement posts or someone having a baby or something and you start to spiral, that's not the truth. That is your brain lying to you and being tricked by society. And for my astrology babies, in our late 20s is our Saturn return. So right now I'm currently in my second year of my Saturn return. Your Saturn return is from 27 to 30. Saturn is a strict dad in the zodiac signs. He shows up and is like, sweetie, that relationship? Yeah, no, that's a fantasy and a lesson, bitch. Smacks you over the head. That's a Saturn return. Saturn will tell you to delete everything and make room for what actually is fulfilling your life. So if you're losing people, if you're losing your job and you're in your late 20s during your Saturn return, this is literally a karmatic lesson. It will make you lose everything that you thought you needed and give you everything that you actually do need. And it's extremely hard. I've had some of the craziest, really hard shit I've had to go through these last couple of years. I thought my Saturn return wasn't going to be that bad because I've had a couple of rough years before that, but nope. So if you're losing people now, that is not a punishment. It's preparation for a better life. And here's another psych fact. People who find love later in their life often report higher levels of satisfaction because they know themselves better. They've clarified their boundaries. They're not just chasing a timeline or just doing what they think that they should. I mean, I was super in love with the girl that I was engaged to at 21, but did I think like I should get married young and do the whole kid thing young? Yeah. That's kind of what everyone said. Was I doing it a little too early? Yeah, probably. But some people be starting early. But honestly, it still stings to have created a whole life in your head with somebody that you really saw a future with, It fucking sucks. It's literally grief. Like anytime, like I was in Spirit Halloween and I saw these like cute little baby things and I'm not ready for a baby at all. That would be like 35. But I like saw my baby with them. And that is the thing that stings, I think. And then like all the plans to move and get a house. And I was like looking for houses. It's just that shit sucks. Because when someone tells you they'll love you forever and they don't deliver, it feels like betrayal of not just love, but of your timeline. But here's the thing I'm starting to finally learn. Starting over doesn't have to be embarrassing or mean that you're late. It just means that you're brave and you have so many more beautiful experiences that you just haven't experienced yet. I've been chosen before and baby, I'll be chosen again. I think Lady Gaga has been proposed to like 10 times. I'm trying to be like that girl. But hopefully I'll have one that just works out. And I'll know if it's right because I've lived and I've gone through a lot of shit, and I will be able to tell the difference if it's real or not next time. Hopefully, guys, hopefully. So just say it with me. I'm not behind. I'm experienced, baby. I'm a practical pro. The person that marries me, I'm gonna be like, my ring finger is this, and I want this cut and this. And they're gonna be like, period, bitch. And when the real thing comes, baby, it's gonna mean so much more than something that's not meant to be, that I was trying to make happen so bad, like with no contact. And if my life were a Taylor Swift era, I'm definitely in my Reputation era. And I'm also her age that she was in Reputation. The snakes, the chaos, the rebuilding. But my life of a showgirl era is coming. I can feel it. I would say Lover, but I'm pretty sure that album she put in her denial section. And Reputation was more of the love one. So I guess I would be more so in, God, what era? Honestly, I feel like I'm in a fearless era right now. I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you guys. I'm like singing White Horse and shit. So here's the real reminder, my beautiful chaotic angels. Being behind isn't real. It's just a race that society invented. 2 engagements, a breakup with somebody I was in a situationship for a year for that the bitch promised me everything under the goddamn sun, doesn't mean I failed. It means I'm brave enough to love deeply and brave enough to walk away when something isn't right, which is extremely hard to do. It's really hard when you love somebody and you've imagined your whole life with them and you've created all these things in your head, but it's just not who they actually are as a person. And I think, I'm realizing that time by time, that even though it can feel so good, it doesn't mean that it's actually good, because those chemicals aren't always good. Please go watch the old episodes if you want to do that. But I swear, guys, I'm going to make you a How to Get Over Heartbreak fast very, very soon, that episode, and give you guys more of everything that has been going on between me and No Contact and maybe Mrs. Wright. If Taylor Swift can survive 15 years of public heartbreak and still believe and then still get the man, then baby, we can too. So here's the Taylor Swift's engagement. Oh my God, I'm just like, I cried. But cheers to us too. The survivors of the broken promises, which me and you both are, the ones that are rebuilding their timeline. Our love story isn't late. They're just still unfolding. And if you see a very hot, tall, masked lesbian, let them know that I am available. But maybe in like 6 months, mama needs to heal. That's it for today's Chaos Babes. I love you all so much. Please send this to a friend that feels behind in love, or a Swiftie. I love it all. And don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and rate the podcast on Spotify and Apple. It really helps the podcast. And if you comment, it also helps the algorithm and makes poor people find Kisses and Chaos, which is so, so fun. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the guest episodes. We have Danny Thorne and Phase 1, and we have more guests coming soon. And honestly, babes, I'd rather start over 1,000,000 times than settle once just to be on society's timeline. Because a lot of the marriages and shit that you're seeing, honey, they're probably not happy. Because being chosen by the wrong person is not winning. It's delaying the right love from finding you. And you know what, babies? Since we're single and we're free, that shit's coming to us sooner than you know. I love you all, my chaotic angels. Bye.
Baby, I'm a gangster too.